Tropical Storm Dorian is gradually intensifying today. Recon has found winds of around 65 miles per hour and a pressure of 1002 millibars. That's what we're going with at this hour at 9 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time this August 28th. On the CDPS scale, it's going to strike the island of Culebra later today, possibly a direct landfall, and this is the characteristics of what we expect from the storm there. Rainfall potential has risen a little bit, but it's still only a stage 1 on the CDPS for this region, although there could be 5 inches of rain on these islands. There it is right now, a small tropical storm force wind field, but it will reach the US Virgin Islands in the next few hours and possibly the British Virgin Islands as well, and will also affect Puerto Rico. It's 28 miles from St Croix, 70 from Coral Harbour, 72 from Roadtown, 81 from Vieques, and 87 from Culebra, which it could make landfall on later today. So looking at the warnings that are currently out there, here they are. Hurricane watch for Puerto Rico, Vieques, Culebra and the US Virgin Islands. Tropical storm warning for those locations as well as the British Virgin Islands, and a tropical storm watch for the Dominican Republic from Isla Sayona to Samana. The hurricane watch has been discontinued in the Dominican Republic. Total rainfall, you can see here extending that large pink tongue, which is the storm's track basically headed towards Florida. The pink areas denoting 3 inches of rain or higher expected along that track, and as you can see later on in the run, as it gets nearer to Florida, it really blows up in terms of its moisture content and could deliver 10 inches or more to some of those coastal areas over the weekend into early next week. That's a provisional early estimate. 28 degrees Celsius, those sea surface temperatures, slightly warmer maybe in some parts too. And over the next few days, you can see again, this is the GFS model. There's the storm, the green area there, that's tropical storm force winds starting to creep into some yellows now. That's hurricane force, and at the minute we're looking towards at least a category 2 close pass or landfall to northern Florida and possibly states further north as well. GFS is calling for a recurve. Other models aren't doing, some of them take it straight into Florida, and that's a wait and see over the next 5 days. That is still quite some distance out. Chances of tropical storm force winds then, this is probably a little bit more reliable information. 96% at St Croix, 92% at Culebra, 80% at San Juan, 72% at Greater Barco in the northern Bahamas, and 62% at Cape Canaveral, Florida. These are what the models are saying right now, and as you can see, if you've been watching recent updates, they've really trended upwards in the last 24 hours, where the National Hurricane Center is towards the lower end of what the models are predicting. Quite a few now calling for a major hurricane. Wind shear, though, will be on the rise late on in that 5-day period, so that's interesting to see how it will do with that. But relative humidity is also rising a lot too, so conditions overall gradually get better for Dorian after today. So here's the satellite imagery of the storm in the last few hours from NOAA floaters. GOES 16 imagery showing that the storm remains fairly compact, not only in the wind field but also on its satellite presentation. Convection blowing up still though quite nicely, so that means significant amounts of rainfall will be expected on the Virgin Islands as a whole, and could deliver some flash flooding. Again, highest rainfall expectations probably about 5 or 6 inches in some areas, and that is at sea level as well, so mountainous regions might get a little more. Now, recon flights indicating that there may be an eye developing as well in this system, so that's something else to watch out for on the satellite imagery. No clear signs yet on the infrared or indeed the visible now that we look at it, but that is a distinct possibility later on today. Many storms do intensify through this region, and Dorian could be the next. You can follow Force 13's outlets, the website force13.com. You can also find our YouTube channel. If you're not there already, you may well be. Good chance of that. Subscribe if you haven't. You can also find our Facebook page, search Force 13 all in text, and our Twitter handle, it's @Force13 on there. You can also help the project become even better by becoming a patron. You can see more information about all the benefits involved by visiting patreon.com/Force13. With a special thanks to these people for being our most valued patrons this month: You can also check out our growing merch store so you can show Force 13's colours wherever you go. You can also find a link to our Discord server underneath this video in the description.